Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the RDA. This is your Manchester United vs Crystal Palace match reaction, in which was a tale of two halves, because the first half was absolutely sexy football, and we probably could have scored a few goals in that first half. Second half, it dropped off. The players look absolutely finished. They look like I've never played football in my life. I can only do it for 45 minutes, so that it's not going to be perfect. From the first game, Ralph said it himself. I think Ralph will be happy for that. Positives is Ralph kept a clean sheet. He won the game. First half, he showed what he wants to do. Second half was definitely like for Oli football. And I think that I realized in the last 15 minutes of the first half and towards the end that Scott McTominay still has to get dropped, because it's just not good enough. Just the partnership isn't good enough. But anyways, we'll get into that. Clay, how was your initial thoughts of the game? Tale of two halves as well.
Very much so. I couldn't put it better myself. It's just as simple as that. First half was Ragnick ball, second half was Oli ball, and it was clear as day the difference. And Scott McTominay is a massive waste of space at this club still. I'm still at this mindset. He hasn't changed.
I don't think he was bad today, but it's just not good enough.
I thought he was dreadful today. This gave away possession. When he went in for a tackle, he missed the tackle. Or when he actually won it back, he gave the ball right back to them. His passes forward were shite 9 times out of 10. I only think he completed like one of them. He's not good enough. It wasn't a good performance from him. His work rate was there, like in the first half, like you said, during the first 30 minutes or so. I could see him trying to be there with the energy, with the high intensity press, and try and out.
You want to tackle?
He did that right.
I think the whole team in the first 35 minutes, I wouldn't give anyone below 7.
Yeah.
But after that, they did drop off big time.
Yeah, they just went, okay, I don't know how to play football. It's Oli ball time, and we're just in a different formation. That's all we did for the rest of the game. So I think Scott was a liability today. I genuinely think he could have conceded a goal another day because of his performance and some of the things that he did, especially towards the end when he got that yellow card and he gave the ball away on the corner flag, and it was just a mess from him. And I don't think he has a place. And I was constantly just saying, we need Donny in that position, we need Donny in that position.
I was also thinking, the whole time I was just thinking, if we had Donny in there, it's just, the game's done. It's going to be won. Yeah. Because like I said, first 35 minutes, okay. Everyone evidently looked like they were world-class footballers. Then afterwards, I'm like, okay, here's reality. Now bring on Donny. I've had enough. I've seen enough. Okay? I've seen enough. Even Rashford. Exactly. I thought first 35 minutes, there's the Ballon d'Or candidate. Then afterwards, it was Rashford back. And I was like, okay, I've seen enough. Bring them off, so... But it's the first game, so I guess we can't really expect too much.
It's a decent start. It showed the potential, it showed the system, and it definitely gave us something to be excited about. So I think we probably do need to be looking more towards that being the positive of the day. It's just the system that is coming into place looks very exciting, and it looks like we're going to do a lot with it. Because like you said, we created a lot of chances in the first half.
Palace couldn't breathe. They couldn't leave their own half in the first 35 minutes.
It was very difficult for them, and you could see that there was still some question marks over the players understanding their role just yet. But over time, like by Jan, this team's going to look very, very different if this keeps on happening. Yeah. So I am very excited. I think Ralph did do a good job in just preparing them mentally and just fixing some of the smaller issues, and what you can do in the first few days, and just some general coaching. I think that helped improve a lot. And I do think just having that manager that's willing to put in the time to instill a philosophy into you will show results, and that's what we've been lacking as United for a while. We've been saying,
and another day we probably won that game in the first half. It was probably 3-0 up, and it's like, okay, job done.
Exactly, because nobody could hit a bloody shot on target today. It's just one of those days where you needed a moment of magic, admittedly. As much as I'm pissed off as, we needed that moment.
That's not how we wanted to win it at the end of the day, but it had to come.
Exactly. So it just had to be one of those days. And the potential's there, and looks like the Ralph Ragnick era has begun with a clean sheet and a nice win to start us off. So,
and I think it will only get better. But Yeah, like I said, the only negatives was it was. I don't really think it's Ralph's fault. I think the only thing I blame Ralph today was subs. But the players just died. They just died. They dead second half. So, like I said, I think Ralph, after a few more training sessions, he didn't probably even train with the first team, and anyone he did train with, like Lingard and Tony, were injured afterwards. So, it probably tells you a lot. So, I think after a few more training sessions, it'll be a lot different. And I think because I think Young Boys is our next game, and we're already through, I think I expect to see some heavy rotation. Hopefully, there, an experimental team. So let's see what happens. But another positive today, the formation, I thought, like I said, it worked really well in the first 35 minutes. And the whole thing that worked well throughout the game was Mr. Telles and Mr. Delo. Absolutely on another level of fullback today under Ralph Rangnick. And I think they deserve to play. I don't think Shaw comes back into this team, and I don't think Aaron Bissaka comes back into that team, because the fullbacks to me today were both arguably candidates for my man of the match today. So I think they were absolutely fantastic, and I think that's how you should be probably moving forward. And if Aaron Bissaka and Luke Shaw can't step up to the plate, sorry for you then. It's just how it is, because they're playing on another level, these fullbacks recently. So, and it was always a question about their defensive attributes, and we always played defensive football. But when we're going to play like that in the first half and want to go forward, it is ridiculous. And then even today, defensively, Delo and Tellers weren't beaten. They couldn't get beat. So that was the biggest positives today. The fullbacks, even in this narrow formation, worked wonderful. So I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, I definitely thought there was it wasn't as uncomfortable as watching Shaw and Aaron at stages. So there was definitely a big sense of comfort, and Teller's getting game time again. I think it was a better performance than the last one. It
Hit
keeps
the
on
bar also.
keep on rolling.
The low almost scored.
Yeah, that free kick was something else from Tellers. I did not expect that, and but yeah, it was a good game from him. And like you said, defensively, they definitely showed that this isn't an area that I'm actually that bad in. I'm okay at it.
They just needed some games, maybe,
Yeah,
and they have been given some games now. So
yeah, I'm very happy with them going forward. And again, in an attacking system like this, these are the fullbacks you want. These are the fullbacks that you want to keep going with and keep growing with around the team. Because there was some brilliant interplay between Tellez and Sancho when Sancho was on the left-hand side, which was a slight annoyance for the day. But the interplay was there, and he looked very creative. He looked like he wanted to create these chances. He looked good, and he took some set pieces off Bruno. It was quite something. So yeah, I'm very, very impressed with them, and I hope they keep on performing.
Yeah. We'll speak about more now when we get into the player rating. So let's get into it. David De Gea. Well, he wasn't under so much pressure as he normally is, but he was called upon a few times, and I think David would like this type of game. It's like, I wasn't too bored at the back. I had to do some things. It wasn't as ridiculous as it normally was. Kept a clean sheet, so yeah, I'll give David a 7.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as that. Kept a nice little clean sheet. It's like our second of the bloody season. But yeah, I think he had 2 saves of the game, and that was really it. So it was just some general yard keeping, and he kept our players in line a little bit. I do like that he's been a lot vocal this season again. We talked about this before. But yeah, just a 7, definitely. So good performance.
Yeah. Alex Telles, yeah, it's very close between you and the low 3, but I think you are just a little bit. Okay, no, I don't want to say worse, because you were insane today. You just weren't as insane as the low, but I thought you were spot on today. Going forward, phenomenal. That free kick was beautiful, and I wish you scored that. Defensively on point, you showed that, maybe just let me get match sharpness, and then I'll show you what a real fullback could be, and I think in this system, I am not opposed to seeing you and Delo going forward. I always said I love Luke Shaw and I love Aaron Bissaka, because I just think as a balance for defense and what they used to do offensively, it wasn't too bad. But now, if we're gonna play like this, it's a whole nother level. So I'm very happy with Telles, and I'd give Telles, I give him an 8.
Yeah, it was a good performance, and I have nothing to complain about. I do think could be deserved, but I would bump it down to a 7. I do think it was good still.
Okay. 7. Today was the first time in a long time I seen a Bears performance today. That was for sure. Never seen Bears for a long time since England. Seen Bears today for the first time in the United shit. So I'm very happy for him. Did show the captaincy at least. He was like headed, like I'm gonna play on, and he still performed to a high level. I thought defensively spot on to hold such a high line, and I didn't really get. I think we played City today. We probably do get punished. We definitely get played through our press, but for what you guys did today, spot on. And I think Bears did nothing wrong. I think his passing was good, defensively he was good. So I give Bears a 7.
I didn't see Vaz today. I saw Harry, unfortunately.
I see
I
Bears
felt like
today.
every time this man got the ball, he wanted to clear it. He didn't even want to try and play through it. It felt like heading was all right, I guess, and playing through the injury, you got to do what you got to do. That's just kind of the nature of you as a centre back. You're going to get into those collisions. It's going to happen. So that doesn't really gain my respect for him, unfortunately. But yeah, I didn't see anything special from him. We kept the clean sheet. I didn't see him really do anything great, and when he attempted to do anything, I felt like it went out of play or it went to the wrong player. It put someone under unnecessary pressure, and it just didn't move the ball well. As opposed to Lindelof, who I thought distributed the ball very well.
I didn't. I thought Lindelof actually was defensively better, but
I thought
distribution
Lindelof
today was,
better.
for me, Maguire.
I thought Baz was very much side to side and forward and back. I thought Victor was actually willing to play those long balls. He was willing to actually switch the play. He was trying to get involved. I saw Victor actually overlap a lot more than I did Maguire. He stepped up in to help Scott sometimes, and he took one for the team at the end of the game. And yeah, I think that's the kind of performance I would rather see from Harry Maguire. That I could go, yeah, that's Baz, stepping on into midfield. He's making those tackles, those last man tackles, and just taking that yellow on the chest. Because it's things you have to do as a centre back. I just felt like he was just there and was okay, and he got the clean sheet at the end of the day. So there's no real complaints. I just think it could have been a lot better, and he's got a lot of room for improvement in my eyes still. So yeah, it's just a 6.
6 for Bears. Victor, like I said, I thought the opposite. I thought Victor today was defensively way more called upon, and he did everything well. I didn't really see his offensive output as much as normally do. But again, I got no complaints with not really anyone today in general. So I'll give Victor also a 7.
Yeah. Big thing about Victor today is he was the one that kept on getting Rashford offside. I promise you that much.
Yes.
He was the primary reason for that. But just willing to switch the play, willing to actually go forward and try and make things happen. There's just a lot more telling, and taking one for the team, I respect that a lot more than Baz's performance, as I said. So yeah, I'm very happy to give him a 7. I think it was a good performance from Victor.
Today, my man of the match is definitely Dalot. Defensively, that was Aaron Bissaka, and offensively, that was clear of Trent Alexander-Arnold. An amazing performance today, I thought, from Dalot. Definitely, you deserve some games. I'll play you against young boys, to be honest with you. I know Ralph's a new manager, probably let me see how Aaron is, but I don't care. As a United fan, I've seen everything, and if we're gonna play like this, I love Aaron Bissaka, but Dalot, if he's playing like this, and he's playing at the moment, he's playing out of his mind. So I want to see Dalot going a little bit more often forward, and then maybe Aaron Bissaka does have to step aside for now, because, like I said, if you're going to play this new modern era of football, and we're not going to be required to defend as much, there really is no need for Aaron Bissaka. Obviously, if Aaron plays and he's good going forward and he can be coached going forward, it is. I don't mind Aaron Bissaka, and if he played against young boys, I also don't mind Aaron Bissaka, because I know how good he can be. So, but today, Dalot was on another level that Aaron Bissaka hasn't reached this season. Tellers was on another level that Luke Shaw also hasn't reached this season. So, man of the match, I give him a 9 out of 10. I thought the whole game, Dalot dominated in every aspect.
Kind of disappointed that we didn't play it to the right as much. That was kind of my whole thing with Dalot. I didn't think I saw enough of him, But when I did see him, I did think it was brilliant. I thought going forward, again, lots of really good passes, lots of good long balls. Again, he was a big contributor along with Tellers to the switches of play, and just letting us play a lot more open football, So I do think it was better, but we weren't playing for the right. It was just this reluctance to play to the right, especially when we were like at
It's
our
probably
best
just
in the
habit.
first
It's
20
just
minutes.
probably
Yeah.
habit. Just always go down the left.
What it is. Yeah, it's just play down the left. That was our primary attacking outlet. But I do think what you said is true. Whenever he had to make a tackle, he made the tackle. He was very solid. And yeah, there's slight issue with his positioning. It was like way too far forward at times, which again, it has its qualities and it has its issues. That's why Victor had to take one for the team, because Dallo was in no man's land trying to attack. It's a give and take relationship with that, and he'll grow into that role. I expect him to grow a lot more from this performance. But I do think it was a good performance from him. I have no real issue with it. I do want to see more, but definitely a very good performance. So I'd give him a 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Me. Karachi, clear of anyone on the pitch today. Clear of anyone on the pitch today. Can't complain of anything. I almost wanted to give him a 10 today, but he didn't get an assist or anything. So, yeah, I love the low. Pastor Fred, we did say he's going to step up under Ralph Rangnick. He stepped up. He scored a world out of nothing, and I think he found his pass for today. Other than that, I thought Fred's press was good. It looked like the intention of Fred's passing today was, you could see it was clear. It was get the ball and move it quickly forward. It didn't come off all the time, like I said, we just some things we can't coach, and if Fred's just not a good passer in general, he's not going to be a good passer in general. But the intention was there, and I'm happy to see that. So when he got the goal, and for that, I have to give Fred an 8. Thought he was pretty good there. And I think that's just a given, because I did expect Fred to thrive under Rangnick. So.
Yeah, he's just that type of person. His pressing was there, and just his positional awareness a lot of the time was really good for the box-to-box role. He knows what he has to do in that role, and he does it very well. So, yeah, this was back to the old days of Fred, where he was at his best and was one of our players of the season. It's very much past the Fred vibes. And yeah, Ralph Rangnick's definitely going to love him. He's going to thrive under the system. It just fits him perfectly. So, yeah, I'm happy to go at the 8, and he can get the man of the match.
Man of the match. Pass the Fred. Scott, if the game ended at 35 minutes, I would have given you a 7. But sadly, football is a 90-minute game, and it did not end at 35 minutes. So, yeah, you just dropped off, really. The passing again, it was just like Fred. I think going forward, he just weren't as nice as Fred. And to be honest, I think you're just wasting our time. And I think you're wasting Donny's time, because I think Donny can do everything you can do and just way better. So I hope I don't really see you. But to be honest with you, overall, it's not one of those games where I'm like, stinker, 0 out of 10. You did what would be average, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you were average. And I just think if Donny played today, Donny's definitely above average. If Donny played the game, you're probably hitting a 7 or 8 today. Whereas you, I'm just going to give you a 6, It's not bad, not good, so just a 6 for me.
Yeah, I feel like you can erase him from this board, in all honesty. Again, if the first 30 minutes was all we were basing this off of, Scott could have had a decent rating.
Yeah, he could have had
Holy
a
shit, I felt like he just stunk up the midfield. I felt he offered nothing. I felt his distribution was absolutely awful. And we just relied so much on long balls, because Fred and Scott can't pass forward. It was ridiculous in the second half. It was so evident. Then he gave away a foul for nothing. This man got jumped multiple times, gave the ball away. I felt like when he was trying to go for the ball, he wasn't on to really get there. He was just a body in the way, and then someone else would come and pick it up when we were actually pressing well. Scott was a waste of space today, and if Donny was in that position, I'm 100% thinking he does what Fred does today, and he walks away with the goal.
I think so. Yeah, I think Donny would contribute something, a pass to assist or something.
Absolutely dreadful from Scott. I really, really hate seeing you in your United shirts more and more every day, and it's a 5.
You love Scott. You used to love. You're like, it's definitely a good bench player. You used to love.
Yeah, he's a good bench player. I'll take him off the bench. You know, in the 60th minute, Donny's tired. You know, he's pressed all game. Bring on Scotty. He'll do a job.
It's good.
Holy shit! You can't play 90
I
minutes.
hate
boy.
him. I
He's
told you.
not-
I've been saying it. I've never seen the light with Scott, and I will never see the light with Scott. I hate him. I actually hate him. So he's one of the players where I wouldn't. He doesn't get a clean slate for me. Even Maguire don't really get a clean slate for me. But at least with Maguire, shut me up kind of today. You know, I can't complain about Maguire today. So it is what it is. Not really complaining about Scott, but you just because I know who's on the bench, it's very frustrating. That's the main reason, because you are stinking it up, and Donny doesn't stink it up. You know, so. Donny in the last 10 minutes even looked better than you in the whole 90, so it just shows it is what it is. But to be fair, also, I want to move on to Bruno. Very, very disappointed from Bruno. I didn't think, again, if the game ended 35 minutes, we would have probably given you a 7. Unfortunately for you, Bruno, the whole 90 just wasn't good again. Just lazy with the ball at times, the press disappeared, the intention was it just looked too much like Ollie ball. So you don't have to really play that if you're playing a system. That's why I love Jadon Sancho today, and I completely disagree with taking off Sancho today. But yeah, disappointing from Bruno. I can't really. We could have had a goal, maybe an assist on another day, but it just didn't click for me at all with Bruno. And Bruno's level is obviously very high on this channel, so it's a Bruno 6 for me.
Yeah, it was just one of those games where the system looked like, with Bruno in it, in those 30 minutes or so, it looked like this guy is going back to his old ways. This guy's about to walk away with a goal or an assist. It very much looked like Bruno was back to Bruno. But then it just became Ollie ball Bruno, where it's just him hoping and just sending it and hoping and sending it, and him not really getting on the ball as much in the second half.
And he doesn't have to do that anymore. Like, I understood it under Ollie, because it's late under Ollie. But yeah, you don't have to do that anymore, you know? That's why I'm
Good when he
frustrated.
wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
Like, occasionally doing it can lead to something.
Yeah, occasionally, like today we did it. I won't lie, I put my hands up. Today is when you actually need individual brilliance. First half, we should have had 5. We should have been resting, chilling. But second half, it was shit, and then we needed individual brilliance. You know, sometimes you do. So.
Exactly, and it just became that. It just became Bruno going, it's fine, I'll make it happen, I'll make it work, and he kept on getting frustrated. And for some reason, Zaha just got into his head today. I don't know what that was about. Because that man pissed off whenever Zaha was next to him. But yeah, it was just one of those games where I can see Bruno doing a lot better on another day, and just seeing him walk away with something. So yeah, I'll give him the 6. Just average.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Bruno. Hopefully he can get
Definitely a bright
better.
spark in the system, though.
Because
Definitely.
I tell you what, as equal as Scott, I would not put it past Donny doing a better job than Bruno today in his position. So one of you guys need to get, like, if one of you guys got dropped for Donny, I am having no complaints, because Donny actually doesn't do what you guys do today. So it is what it is. Sancho, I feel sorry for you because you didn't deserve to come off. Played fantastically well. You can see why Ralph wanted you. You can see why Ralph will like you, because he wanted you anyways. But everything that Ralph wants, whether it's pressing, intelligent decisions, the intelligent running today. Today you actually were threatening even when you came off the left-hand side. I think you could have had a goal today, you could have had an assist today. I would have never taken you off in a million years. Rashford would have child bench way before I took you off. But that's why I feel like it's weird today, because I hope Ralph wasn't influenced in that decision, because I see a lot of McKenna, a lot of Fletcher on the line, lots of talking on the side, and I don't want them to infect Ralph. Ralph needs to do his thing. He needs to assert his power. He needs to be like, I'm the manager. I'm going to make my own decisions based on what I think. And I wonder about that little moment in the game. But yeah, Sancho for me shouldn't have come off, and I liked him on the field. 7 out of 10. I thought he suited Ralph's system to a T.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, eh? This is the weird thing. I'm the biggest Sancho simp on the channel. So it's really difficult for me to just sit here and go, I don't really know what Sancho did today. Like, I know he had the good shot, but like, I just felt like there was some interplay moments, there was some just like general intelligence, but like, past that, I just thought there was nothing really. So I do disagree with him coming off, of course. I don't think he was the one to come off for Greenwood. I don't think in a million years I was going to do that. I can agree with you with that much, that Rashford should have came off. Because Sancho's fall off was definitely much less evident than Rashford's fall off when the sub came on. So I fully agree with that. I just, again, I just don't know what he really offered today. I thought he was alright. I thought he did his job where he had to, and I thought he was just average today. So I'll just go to 6. No negatives, but it just felt like one of those games with Lindelof. It's just. It's going on,
Well, your cameras, for example. That's what's going
Yeah.
on. So, but yeah. Anyways, no, I kind of disagree. I loved Sancho today. I thought everything I want in that position, he offered me. I'm not gonna expect him to get an assist. I'm not expecting him to get a goal. It was a system, and he played the system to at least the 7 for me. So, didn't give away the ball. I got no complaints with Sancho. So yeah, happy days with Sancho. See now Rashford. Again, if the game ended at 35 minutes, it was Ballon d'Or Rashford. It was the Rashford role, if he's coached to an extent, is going to be dangerous. Decision making 35 minutes, spot on. The head was up, the passing was good, the creativity was good. And when Rashford has all of that, he's dangerous because he's got pace, he's got skill, he's got strength, and then if he can add the decisions to it, it's the complete player. So but then again, and then Ollie Ball came in, and then you didn't touch the ball, and you didn't get the hold of the ball, and you were born offside. I'm convinced you are born offside. And so to balance, you see, just to balance it, I'll give Rashford a 6, but it's an improvement. Because usually, when Rashford doesn't have a good game, it's stinky, it's proper bad. So it's an improvement for Rashford today. I give him a 6, just to balance it out.
Yeah. First half, Rashford is like getting an 8.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd give him an 8 in the first 35, but
the Ollie Ball stink up of the second half was just ridiculous. So I can't in good conscience give him anything more than a 5, in all honesty. Like, genuinely, I can't. It was so bad, Rashford.
We're gonna give him the same as Scott. Yeah.
5, yeah.
8.
Again, in the system, he looked so beautiful. He was passing every single chance he got. He did some awesome flair moves, and Rashford was there, and he was ready to help the team for once in his lifetime. And it actually felt like this is a player. And then he just went straight back into Ollie Ball mode, and he just
you know what's sad thing is because we got teased today. Like that first 35 minutes, you were like, "Oh my god, this is different United. This is a different United." And then when Ollie Ball came, we were just like, "Why, guys? No! You can't just give us 35 minutes every week. We just want more and more."
He gave us a taste.
He gave us a taste of
and then you just threw it against the wall. That's what you did. So like, I cannot be happy with that performance at the end of the day. Again, first half alone, Megaman's getting an 8, he's getting the Ballon d'Or as well. He can take that off Messi. It's fine. I'm comfortable with that. But the rest of the game, he stunk it. I don't think he touched the ball in the second half, if I'm being honest. I genuinely don't think he got...
You're just offside. You're just constantly offside.
In the first half, he wasn't offside once.
That's what I'm saying! It is amazing! First half was good.
The second half was literally, okay, boys are going back to basics, it's Ollie Ball time. We are going to long ball it, and we're going to pray to Rashford to stay on
United
side,
Fetzer, yeah? We just got a little taste, and then all of a sudden we were like, no, don't edit.
The future of Rashford, I'm back on the train that Rashford's going to be in this contention with this Haaland and Mbappe bait. And just, he's going to be on that level if he is coached well. If this Ralph and the system carries on.
If he can play like how he did in 35 minutes, every 90 minutes, it's there for him. But hey, Rashford. Sadly for you, my boy, it's not going to be perfect in game week 1, should I say so. And like I said, it's a player who I don't want to see just getting picked even if he does that. So I would like, if Martial can put the system better, Martial should play. If Mason can put the system better, Mason should play. If Ilanga, because Ilanga came on today, if Ilanga can do it, he should play. Then it just is what it is. Ronaldo, I'm going to give a 10, but a realistic rating, I'll give him a 7, even regardless of what he did. I thought work rate was there. Everyone said he can't fit into Rangnick's system. I think he proved you all wrong. Could he have had a goal today? Probably. On another day, probably Ronaldo gets a goal out of nothing, or he gets one of those shots to go in. Thought he was dangerous. Second half, we did not give the ball to Ronaldo enough. He was defending a lot more than everyone else in the team, which is a bit shocking because, when you want Rashford in the system, you think Rashford would defend more than Ronaldo. But no! Who's running back? Ronaldo. Who's playing left back? Ronaldo. Who's playing CDM? Ronaldo. So I'd give him a realistic 7, but because he's the GOAT, he's got so many, in the bank, just give me a 10. So I'm like, okay, I'll just write it off, check your balance. You got like another million in your bank account. But yeah, I'd realistically give Ronaldo a 7, but obviously I'd give him a 10.
Yeah, I think the 7's very justified and fair because again he got his chances. I felt like he fluffed them a little bit and like they weren't exactly what
Almost
he
like
expected.
Ronaldo wasn't used to
Yeah.
getting chances again. He was like,
Yeah,
I'm getting
it's
chances!
so- I'm getting chances. How am I have to control a ball again? What is this? I don't know how to take first time shots anymore. What is this? This is new to me. It was one of those games where he could have had like a hat trick in the first half. Like we were trying to feed him, we
Yeah.
gave him some chances, and again, like him pressing is definitely a thing. Him working really hard for the team.
Works
it's
hard,
very
Rashford. I'm convinced that I would see Rashford defending ever in my life.
exactly. So it was just a very solid performance from Ronaldo. I'm happy to give him some.
Yeah. But I think overall, if you look at those player ratings, it shows that nobody really stunk today. And I think overall as a team, that's what, on a bad day, this is what we should get. This should be our bad day, and that's just, we should move on. We should have better days, way better days. Like I said, I think another day, if we played Palace in maybe 2 weeks, oof, Palace could have caught a hiding today. I think in 35 minutes, that game could have been over. That game should have been over in 35 minutes. It's just, the only thing that missed in that first half was the goals, because we did everything else spot on. Like I said, that first half wouldn't give anyone below a 7. Would not give anyone below a 7. But yeah, let's see how it goes. When do we play Young Boys again? Do we play Young Boys? Is Young Boys our next game? I would assume they are. Let's see. Man United.
But December's
we-
hectic.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
playing Young Boys on Wednesday. So for that game, it's another. The players should have a few more training sessions under their belt. Ralph should get to see a bit more of the squad, and obviously we'll do a preview. But I'm expecting already some changes because I let you slide away with it maybe today a little bit. We're gonna get to Ralph's rating, but I do want to see changes against Young Boys. There's no reason why there should not be changes against Young Boys. So it is what it is. But overall, can't complain with the performance today. Overall, I'm happy. I think the only reason why it's not like, oh my god, we are gonna win the league, is just because we got teased. We got teased so badly today. I've never been that teased like that in my life. Where in 35 minutes, I'm like, we're the best team in the league, and then after that, it was like, Ollie is back Ollie's back at the wheel, because that's what it felt like. At least we've seen the 4-4-2 also. I guess that's a positive. We've seen a 4-4-2. It wasn't really a 4-2-3-1. And I liked it. I think, for the players to really, execute it to a certain level like that, it's pretty good, Only one. They didn't even train. The first team that played today didn't train at all with Ralph. They would have just been talked to. And that's pretty impressive, I think. So, with regards to Mr. Ralph Ragnick, I think for him today, he's thinking, give me a 10, because I did my job. I kept a clean sheet in a team that cannot keep a clean sheet to save their life. I showed you guys a little bit of my philosophy and what I want to do in the future, and I got the 3 points. So come in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, we are going to start firing teams left, right, and center. And I think that's just how it is. And arguably, you know what, to be fair to Ralph also, Palace is no slouch of a team. They have been upsetting big teams. They are very hard to beat. And this is the Premier League still, so it's pretty good. I think I'm going to give Ralph today. Well, if you're going to get -2 for Donny, I did say that. I don't care if you say Alex Ferguson. If say Alex Ferguson walked in and he didn't play Donny, you are also getting -2, Sir Alex. So that's -2. And I think, just because you teased me, it's just a little bit of a drop off with the overall team selection. But I think I'm happy overall, so I'll give Ralph a 7 today.
Yeah, I think that's where my mind's at, and a big thing that made me very excited as well is him bringing on Ilanka. That was something that I think that's gonna benefit everyone going forward because he's prioritizing youth right now, and he's giving.
I think
I
I think that's how it is under Ralph. If Ralph thinks you deserve to play, you'll play.
Yeah, and I respect that a lot. So, again, the philosophy that he showed, I'm all for it. I think the football going forward is definitely going to improve. But if we're just looking at the day in general, as any other day, I could easily see this being around the 7. Yeah, I think the 7 is justified. I think considering he had 2 days, if taking all these factors into consideration, he didn't really have a full train, you could easily give him like a 9 out of 10. But I think if we're looking at this as just one game, this is the manager's game. It's fine, whatever.
Yeah, if we see this type of
Fine.
performance, maybe in 3 weeks it'll be like a 6 for Ralph because the
Yeah.
bar is that high. But
Yeah,
I think
there's
it's
some
a-
excuses right now.
yeah, there's
So
some excuses.
yeah, the bar can lower itself just a little bit because second half dreadful, first half that was beautiful, and we want more of that. And if you can deliver more of that, it's that rating's only going to go higher.
Yeah, I think so as well. And today it was just what really needs to happen, Ralph, is you need to ban. Well, Scott, let's not even. Fred kind of deserves to start playing, so you're gonna have to ban Scott. You're gonna have to sack him off. You know, it is what it is. Maguire can have another game because of today, but you're gonna have to sack off Scott. Because the whole time, even without Donny today, I was just thinking, if fucking Pogba was here today, oh my god, that first 35 minutes we would have had goals. I would have guaranteed us having goals today. Paul Pogba played in the first 35 minutes, but it's a very unfortunate, and I think that you give us more of that 35 minutes that we've seen today, more over the game. I think it's good. But yeah, Ralph, way to set the bar. I think you set the bar as high as possible. I think Ralph. Well, the reason I'm not mad at Ralph also because he made us not have such high expectations for this game. He was like, I've already got not even a training session. I can literally speak to them. That's all I can do. Is I can speak to them. I can train with the guys who didn't play, and that's all I can do. And I think, like I say, Young Boys is going to be a good game for Ralph. Because Ralph will be like, we're already through. I'm going to play some of the fresh players. I'm going to rotate the squad, give my first team a break. And then maybe when Donny does play, Martial, Elangas, Mason, all these guys play. And if they perform, and they should perform, and then Ralph will be like, okay, there's some players in this team. And then goodbye, Scott. Goodbye, this person. Goodbye, that person. And I think we just have to see from there. But I'm actually really excited. I'm probably more excited for the Young Boys game than the other games because I think it's a free game. It's a free game to do whatever. I'll be very disappointed if I see a similar team today because I'll be like, come on.
Yeah,
you know,
agreed.
Like, come on. Come on. We're already through. I know we want to win the group. I know you want to see. Well, I know you want to instill the first team, the tactics into the first team, but there's no real reason yet. They were good today. The games are afterwards in the league anyways are easy, and we're not trying to win the league yet, so we can take the league games a little bit differently now. So it is what it is. But like I said, Ralph, I'm happy. Wait, if you compare this to Ali, oh my, it's night and day. It is night and day, and that was like with barely any coaching and training into the players, and I seen a whole different team. And I think we're only going to get better and better. I seen on Twitter today everyone was just over the moon. And I think it shows how much we've been starving at United. Because the first 35 minutes you'd swear you ask United fan, we're the best team in the world. And then we got hit back to reality a little bit. But I don't think Ralph has anything. I don't think Ralph is to blame for that. So I think the players did die. I think they're not used to playing to that intensity. And what Ralph plays is very high intensity. So even the players, I think they would have just fallen off naturally. I'm tired. I don't want to press. I can't press. We're going to have to come up with a moment, and they did. So it is what it is. Is there anything else you want to say about today's performance, Lee?
Yeah, it's just a good foundation. That's all it is. And yeah, we should move from strength to strength with this, and it's going to be good. It should be good under Ralph right now. It's looking bright.
Yeah, and actually, if you even think about it, the games are coming really thick and fast because the preview's tomorrow. I don't think Ralph will train with them tomorrow. So again,
We'll probably have one training session.
luckily luckily it's a home game, so we will have at least one training session at home on Tuesday, I think.
Then it's another 3 days, then it's another 3 days.
But
it's 4
if
days.
Ralph is thinking I'm gonna rotate the team, they're probably like the Donnies and the fringe players will definitely be training tomorrow. Martial or whoever,
Yeah.
they'll be training with Ralph tomorrow for that game because I'd expect them to play on Wednesday. So very excited for that game. I can't lie. I put my hands up. And the Ollie, it used to be like at the early days you're like, oh yes, it's a game. Ollie's ready through, so Ollie's gonna play Langa. No, it's the fucking first team. Name again, the whole team's playing again. Ollie's playing the whole team till they're dead. Until you are physically injured, you will play under Ollie. So I'm happy that there should be rotation. And if there isn't, just because you're Ralph Ragnick, you're not going to get away with it. We'll slate you. We will slate you because the bars doesn't change. The blinders don't come on. I don't care who you are. We watch United every single week. We don't miss games. We know what we want to see from the team. We know what's happening at the team. So you can't fool the fans, So it is what it is. But anyways, if anyone's also wondering, Moloto is not here. We'll get Moloto's thoughts tomorrow. But he had some data and power issues, as it is in this country. But I think it's been a good show. I'm very happy for once, actually. I'm very happy with the performance. So smash like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and we'll check you all on Monday tomorrow. We'll check you all tomorrow for the match preview against Young Boys. Goodbye.